Hello. I seen one person was waiting, so I went ahead and hopped on. You're not doing this tonight, are you? He's getting worse and worse every time. And so usually I put him up in the bathroom. But Andy is in there taking a shower right now, so we can't do that. So hopefully he's not going to bark the whole time. No, sir. No. Go lay down. But sounds like he went to go lay down. He actually minded tonight. We're having our Sunday Live. We got some exciting news, so I'm hoping that a few more people hop on. It looks like we lost whoever was on here. Oh, they're back. Hoping more people... Go lay down, sir. Go lay down. Hoping a few more people pop on. Hi, Joe. How are you? But we've got some exciting news. Some unexpected news. Hello. How are you, Brittany? Some unexpected news, and I'm super excited, and so we'll let a few more people get on. Hi, Randy. How are you? How y'all doing? We have had a wonderful, wonderful bout of weather today, guys. It was so warm. I didn't even check the temp. Daisy Q, don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Hold on, let me let this dog out. He's being rotten. You can't do this the whole time. Go on. Go potty. I'm hopping off right at the beginning of my live right there. All right. Well, there's 5 people on here. Hello. How are you doing? How's everybody doing? I've had a rotten week. Oh, bless your heart. I went from I can't walk to woman troubles to making up with them. Where? Oh, I'm sorry. It sounds like you have had an awful week. Take it to the Lord, buddy. You know what I'm gonna say about it. Pray about it. Lord helps us with things, our troubles. All right, guys. So the surprise. Drum roll. Okay. So the one that's supposed to be having babies is showing 0 signs. Starting plants, yeah. 0 signs of having babies. Guess what? Clover is like, I told y'all, she's my girl that holds out, and so she has been. She has been holding out completely. Who's your all's guess? Who's your all's guess who started nesting today? Take a guess. Take a guess. Daisy Q, you'll probably guess it. So I'm going to wait on you to figure out what you're going to guess. Beth. Yep. Miss Beth. Miss Beth. She's only 25 days, and we haven't had babies yet, guys. Fingers crossed, Lord's willing. We're going to have some sweet, healthy babies tomorrow, but she has started building a nest. No fur, but building a nest. It's so funny today. She, bless her heart, love her heart. She's absolutely beautiful, guys. And she has become more stunning, has become more beautiful, more stunning the more pregnant she's got. I don't know. She has a glow about her. She's real shiny. Her coat's real shiny. She looks so healthy. And she looks so beautiful. And I fall more in love with her every single day with just how beautiful and just sweet she is. And so today I was feeding, I was going around doing my chores and going around doing my chores. I went, if y'all watch my chore videos, usually the last things I do is what is it? Last things I usually do is water and hay. And so I hadn't done my water yet. I was doing my hay, and I put my hay in, and then I heard something in the rabbitry, and I thought, what in the world is that? And I had noticed that Beth was like laying a lot more, and that she was just a little more fidgety that day, just a little more hoppy. Seemed like she had a lot more energy. And so I gave her more hay, and and she started breaking it. So if you've never seen a doe build a nest, they're really goofy. They just pile like wads of hay in their mouth, and it usually they're really funny. Usually hangs out the side of their mouth, and they'll like take the cage and they'll go like this and they'll break it. And I don't know why they break it, but I guess they just break it to make it shorter. Hold on, give me just a second, guys. I'm gonna let this dog in. I'm sorry. He's going to probably be rotten the whole time. And so anyway, she started breaking the hay in the corner of the cage, and I thought, oh no, girl, oh no. And so I got super duper excited. I went ahead and put the nest in, which I've got a video coming out. Hopefully not tomorrow, but in the next couple days, sometime this week, it'll come out and I'll show y'all what happened. But she started breaking the hay up, and she was making a nest in the corner, and I put the nest box in, and I thought, well, we'll put the nest box in. And then she was like continuing to make, a nest in the corner of the cage. And I thought, I really don't want you to make a nest in the corner of the cage. So I took her nest box and piled it, and had it in the opposite corner. And she just wasn't having it. And so I took the nest, I moved it to the other corner, and added a lot more hay into her cage, and she's made a nest in the nest box. No fur yet. And so I'm just super excited because guess what, guys? She's a first-time mama. This is all new. These are all new girls. Almost all new girls. All new boys. So we don't really know... what's going to happen here. What's wrong, Randy? We don't really know what's going to happen here, but I'm super excited. I'm super excited for her, and I think it's going to be wonderful. But let me see. Oh, sorry, guys. Y'all were commenting, and I was missing what was going on. I watched Baby Bunnies with my mother, Sparks. They almost took too cute to eat. I separate. Somebody asked me last night at church, they're like, how do you eat your own rabbits that you've raised? But like, I just separate it in my mind. Like, I don't name the ones I'm going to eat. They're, the meat rabbits, I even separate them in location. So the meat rabbits are usually outside. And they're outside of the rabbitry, and then my pedigreed, my mini Rexes are inside. And so I just kind of separate them in my brain. I love them, obviously. I'm not going to be mean to them. I'm not going to abuse them or anything like that. But I just separate them in my mind. And it's a lot easier to do that. Just like I talk about in my videos, like, with first-time moms, I keep my expectations low. I keep them very low. That way I'm not disappointed, because guess what, guys? I've had to go through that. I've had to go through that disappointment and come in and find, deceased babies. And that's not fun, especially if your expectations are set really high. So if you set your expectations low, and you just kind of separate your emotions from it, it's a lot easier, to be able to just say, okay, this is food. And so that's what I do. I just separate my mind and say, these are food, these are pets. These are food, these are pets. And I tell you what, too, and I see this on Facebook sites, for people that raise, meat rabbits. They're cute until they're not cute anymore. They get pretty annoying pretty quickly. They eat a lot of food. They're a lot of upkeep, keeping multiple rabbits. When you have, over 100 babies in a year, or not over 100, but close to 100 babies in a year, and, you're feeding them animals, it can get expensive pretty quickly. And so if you just set your mindset that this is food, it's going to be a lot easier on you, and a lot easier on them, because you're not going to be, coddling and cuddling them. I do recommend 100% handling the babies from day one. But don't, if they're going to be food, don't be loving all over them. Don't be, naming them, because they're not going to be food if you start naming them. They're not going to be food if you start naming. Brittany said you should try one as a pet, Joe. They're even more enjoyable. She has 2 pet rabbits. I'm newer here. Ark Wildman sent me. He's cool. Yeah, I love Ark's, his knowledge about foraging is my favorite thing about his channel. Can't afford it, Brittany. Okay. Meat rabbits are cool too. Everyone should know pet bunny love at some point. Yeah, I agree with you, Brittany. I'm sorry, Joe. I wonder what... Randy, what... He said he was out, so I don't know what happened. Hey, Eric, how are you? Thank you, Daisy Q. Yeah, I think too, and you all have heard me talk about this, and I've been talking about it even more, but I know I've been talking about it even more because it's a serious issue. Our separation from what true food is, what real food is vast. There is a huge gap in between what real food is and what people perceive as real food. And I hate to break it to people. And I'm trying not to say that as sarcastic. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm not meaning that sarcastically. But meat comes from animals. The vegetables that you eat have to be grown from the ground. So in turn, the ground has to be tilled. And so, yeah, but bugs die when you're tilling the ground. And animals have to be raised for meat purposes in order for you to go to the grocery store and pick the meat up out of the store. And when you start raising something like rabbits, which people consider cute, they also consider cattle cute. I just seen a video here recently on Facebook where people had a pet cow in the back of their vehicle with a halter on driving down the interstate, and everybody's like, oh, so cute, a pet cow. So sooner or later, it's not only going to be rabbits aren't food to society, it's also going to be that cows aren't food. They're trying to push it now, guys. What is it that they're saying that like cows are causing global warming or whatever, like destroying the environment? But last time I remember, cows were here before we were. So I don't know. Maybe it's us destroying the environment and not cows. So that's just a thought for the day. I'm trying not. I shouldn't be so sarcastic. Y'all forgive me. I shouldn't be so sarcastic. But cows are not killing our environment. People are killing our environment. People are killing our environment. And how are they killing it? By buying food that's not real, by separating their mind, thinking that cows are the enemy or animals are the enemy or people that raise food are the enemy, and not the factory made food that you're buying at the grocery store. And guys, I buy stuff at the grocery store. I'm not dogging you. I'm not, and it's not directed towards you all. It's directed towards these people that are just so naive that they think that, just meat just appears. And guess what, guys? They're working on that. They're working on meat just appearing. What was it? Was it Burger King that had the commercial for like the veggie burger or the non-meat burger or whatever it was that they're like making like in a, I don't know, I don't know, what is it called? A science lab that they're just creating this meat. Guys, that's not meat. That's not meat. And you all know this stuff. But it drives me nuts. It drives me nuts, the fact that the government especially is pushing that cows are the problem, that people that grow their food is the problem, when really it's them. They're the problem. The people that have this mindset that the fact that people that actually grow their food or people that actually, want to provide for themselves are the problem. They want us to be dependent 100% on them. They want us to depend on them for absolutely everything, and they want us to say, yes, you're right, you're right. And they're wrong. They're wrong. And it's amazing to me the amount of people that believe what they're saying is true. And I was talking to my father-in-law today. And, we were talking about how somebody had commented on another fellow YouTuber's page and told her that rabbits are pets. They're not food. That rabbits are pets, they're not food. And then we can go to one of my videos and you can find where a guy asked me why I was growing my food in polluted ground. So what they're putting out, people are picking up and they're running with it, and they believe that we are the weirdos, that we're the ones that are wrong, that why grow your own food? Because they're not really poisoning us, but really they are. They have been. They've been doing it for generations. They've been doing it for years. And now they're not doing it secretly. They're just doing it out in the open, and people are accepting it. I was talking on a live the other day with Harmon Homestead, and I keep bringing it up, but we talked about so many good things. I'd seen a picture on Facebook. I'm going to guess it's true. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was local. It was like, I can't remember. Anyways, you all might have seen it. It was the can of corn, and on the back of the can of corn, it had a warning, and it said it may cause cancer. A can of corn at the grocery store, I think it even said, like, if you consume it, it will cause cancer, or something like, may contain lead, or something crazy like that. So, guys, they're putting it on the back of our food, and people are still buying it and saying, yeah, that's good. So, I don't know. I guess I'm fired up tonight, guys. I never talk like this. I don't know why I'm like this, but seriously. Let me see, Mom's not... They are here to feed us, right? Yeah. My best advice is stop having feelings about your food. Yeah. Yep. That's already starting. People have cows living in houses and they dress them up. Yeah. I mean, I'm okay. It's perfectly okay to have your pets. But when people start taking things that aren't actually, like domesticated, there's a lady here close to us that has a goat, a pet goat in her house. So not only is it a pet goat, but it's a male goat, a male pet goat. And I don't know if she realizes what she's got herself into. Because how long does she think that thing's going to be able to live in the house? She puts clothes on it and everything. So, I don't know. To me, that's too close for comfort. That's too close. You got a bottle raised goats and you get attached to them. And, those you probably don't want to, eat the one that you bottle raised and things like that. But also, like we were talking about, you have to separate yourself. You have to separate your emotions from your food. The only thing that you should be emotional about when it comes to your food is like whether it's good for you or whether it's not. That's the only emotions that you should have about your food. I mean, I don't know. It drives me nuts. Yeah, they want us to rely solely on them and not ourselves. 100%. Absolutely, yes. That's why welfare exists. That's why food stamps exist. That's why, they're handing this out and this out and this out. And they're calling it free when really it's not. Taxpayers pay for that. And I'm not downing people that actually have to use that. And I know you all agree with me. Nobody is looking down. I'm not looking down on somebody and saying, I'm not even looking down on the people that use it and aren't supposed to. But nobody is like saying, the people that nobody's saying the people that don't need it or the people that need it don't need it. Like I know people, have a hard time, and I know that things happen, and I know that people just get in bad spots and they need things like that. And I'm not talking down on it. Absolutely, I'm not. But the worst part about it is they're promoting it in such a way that now generations have decided that they're going to live solely off the government. They're going to live off of these benefits, these free things that really aren't free, and they're not going to work. They're not going to do anything for themselves or anything for their children. And I'm gonna tell you all a story, and it breaks my heart, and I think about it a lot, guys. I think about it a lot. I can't remember probably what happened yesterday, but I remember this situation. I remember this situation like it was yesterday. I was in high school, and there was a girl that was in my social studies class. And she was always kind of, and I don't want to talk, I'm not trying to talk bad about her. Honestly, I'm not. She was kind of always, just kind of a rougher type of girl. You all know what I'm talking about. Ones that are just, rough around the edges. And, we were in social studies class, and I don't even think the class had even started. Like, everybody was just like, talking, and we were talking about what we wanted to do when we grew up. We were, like you do in high school, you think about the things that you want to do when you grow up. And this girl said something that, like, and I was a teenager, guys. At this point, I didn't, I wasn't, I don't even think I was old. Well, I guess I was probably old enough to work, but I got my first job when I was 18 or 17, somewhere in there. And, I wasn't working at this point in time. I was young enough, probably freshman in high school, maybe sophomore. And we were talking about what we wanted to what we wanted to do when we grew up. And her statement was that she wanted to live off of welfare like her mama did. And she didn't want to have to work. And she said it with such pride. She said it like she wasn't joking. She was fully persuaded that that was the way to live, that was goals, like that's what you should strive for when you grow up. And it's not her fault. It's really not. It's not. It's that people before her family members, people around her, made it seem like it was a good thing that it needed to be something that was said with pride, that it was a goal, that it was something that you really should do. And it was sad. And that girl, she achieved her dream. She achieved what she wanted to be when she grew up. And she's gone now, guys. She passed away. She lived a rough life. And she's not here. She's not here on earth anymore. And what it was is that goals had always been set so low for her that nothing was ever expected from her, that people never expected anything, I guess, from the family or her people. They didn't have any goals in life, that she ended up, not having any goals for herself, and in turn had really low self-esteem. And now she's got 3 children living on this earth that don't have a mama anymore. And their dad's not in any better shape, and it breaks my heart. And I don't say that to talk bad about her. I don't say that to, I'm using that as an example of what now is accepted as the norm. And it's rough. When I think about that girl, I think of her with like nothing but sorrow. I don't know. At a young age, she opened my eyes up to something that I just, wasn't, that I just wasn't aware that I needed my eyes open up to, but she did. She opened my eyes up to something that I wish she wouldn't have, almost. I wish that I wouldn't have had to, just hear, what she said. And like I said, that was her goals, and she achieved her goals, and now she's gone. She's passed away, and she didn't die in a good shape. She didn't die. She didn't die in a good shape. Okay, let me see. Smile. You will show the truth with planning. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, my dad grew up with lucky strikes and no choice. We will all be fine. You would go inside. Yeah, I don't know about it. I use bad words on YouTube every day, yet people hear the truth. Nothing is free in life, not even... Well, Joe, please don't use bad words on my live. You know, that's not, you know, you got free speech, and I don't want to take your free speech away. And so I'm not the boss of you, but I just prefer if people use kind words, kind language, speak with respect on my lives. If you can, manage that, please. And I'm asking that 100% respectfully. Howdy. My cousin started GoFundMe page so she could go on vacation. Oh my gosh. Was she like... I shouldn't laugh. I shouldn't laugh. Hi, Art. Sorry. I knew I seen it, but I didn't know where it went. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate kind words and language if we can do that. She was a blessing from God to see what you wouldn't want. Yeah. Yeah, and I hate that it, like, I hate when I look back. I don't know. Like, when I look back at that situation, I just see, like, sadness. I just see sorrow. And I knew in that moment when she said that, when she said it, like, she said it with, like, utmost confidence and, you know, utmost pride for the situation. And she, you know, I don't know. I wished a different life for her. I've got a theory about that, Eric. I've got a theory about adults that are not willing to work. And I know it's not in all situations. I know that people, you know, I know that there's hardworking parents out there that just have kids that aren't hardworking. But I think a lot of that, and I've talked to other people about this. I've talked to my mom extensively about this. I think a lot of times we love our children so much that we want to do so much for them that we take away their self-esteem, we take away their ability to work, we take away their ability of having pride in the things that they're doing and in their self, and we kill their self-esteem. And, you know, we don't have children. I know you all don't have children. I don't have a child to, like, be our, you know, to do everything, absolutely everything for us, you know, but children need to be raised from a very young age to know how to pull their weight, to know that when they put something down and they get something out, they need to put it up. And that's the thing. Not only do girls need to be raised that way, boys need to be raised that way. Boys need to know how to cook. Boys need to know how to wash dishes. Boys need to know how to do laundry. Boys need to know how to dust and mop and sweep and vacuum. All children need to be raised that way that they have a pride in themselves, not a bad pride, but a pride that gives them a work ethic, a pride that gives them a self-esteem and builds them up. Because I know too many adults, I know way too many adults in my generation around my age that still live with mom and dad, that are still don't forget to cook. Yeah. that are still, living with mom and dad, and mom's paying their bills, and mom's making their supper, and mom's doing their dishes, and while mom's going down into their room and going into their room and getting a week's or 2 weeks worth of dishes out of their bedroom because nobody else has dishes in the kitchen, because they're sitting in their room because they haven't cleaned their room, and they're going in there and they're picking up clothes and towels out of the floor that they didn't pick up or put up, and they got bathrooms and they don't even know how to clean the toilet, and they don't know how to clean the bathroom, and they don't know how to do these things. And what has happened is people love their children so much that they rip that from them, that they take all of their pride away from them, that they take all of their self-esteem away from them, that they think because they work hard that their children are going to have that same work ethic, and it's not true. You have to raise your child. Guys, I'm a novice at this. I only have one child. She's only made it to 9 years old, but I was bound and determined to teach my child work ethic. Bound and determined to do it. And guys, she fights me tooth and nail sometimes. Her room is a mess right now. I make her clean it once a week. She doesn't keep up with stuff, but she's 9 years old. She knows how to do laundry. She knows how to make lunch. She knows how to make breakfast. She knows how to make dinner. She knows how to turn on the stove. She knows how to wash dishes. She's not that great at washing dishes. They usually still have food on them, but she knows how to do those things. She's required to clean the bathroom once a week. Cleaning the bathroom meaning wiping the mirrors, wiping the countertops, sweeping, and things like that. She's not cleaning the toilet or, taking out the trash or anything like that. She's also required to take care of her animals. She knows how to care for her animals. Actually, she is at the farm right now. She's staying the night with my mother-in-law. Because we've got to do things in the morning. We got to run errands in the morning that she can't be involved in. And she's going to be tending to the rabbits tomorrow. She's going to be checking nesting boxes and seeing if babies are live and, seeing what she needs to do for them. Children need to be required to work in order to have a work ethic. You having a work ethic alone is not going to be enough for your children to have a good work ethic. You have to teach them how to work. You have to teach them how to work. Have to. You have to teach them basic life skills. That's your job. That's your job as a parent, is to teach them basic life skills. Let me see. Dude, I have a good friend. Ark, actually good people. I still remember when Dad was dying and praying, and God actually heard him. I know two young girls, both would have been my age, 32 young kids each, both died of overdose not long ago. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Yeah, you feel so bad. It breaks your heart. It breaks your mama heart. If you're a mama, it breaks your heart, just for the children, in that situation. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Tattooed Garden Mama. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Don't forget to cook. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, need to know how to cook. Yes, they do. Chores should start so early. Yeah, especially picking up after themselves. 100%. I still live with Mom because she can't walk. Yep, Ark knows how to cook. He knows how to cook probably better than me. He knows how to cook things I don't even know how to cook. Too soft, Mom. Nope, she don't clean the toilet with a toothbrush. Nope. Here's the thing. When I clean the toilet, it's clean. I don't want to be sitting down on a dirty toilet. And I just can't quite get myself to allow her to clean the toilet yet. I'm just not confident enough that when I sit down, it's going to be clean. It's going to be clean. Yeah, you're talking about discipline. Discipline 100%. How many times as an adult, listen, all of us have to discipline ourselves to do things, even more so when we don't want to do them. You've got to discipline yourself to do it. A lot of you are waking up to a clock or alarm clock in the morning every day to go to work. You got to discipline yourself to do that. I'm a stay-at-home mom now, but I had to roll myself out of bed and when I didn't want to, and get up and get ready for work when I worked. outside of the home. Let me see. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know what? I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be perfect, and I don't want to be on here like trying to teach people how to parent. Some of you on here are older than I am, and you know I'm young, and I realize that I'm young, and I'm not I'm not trying to say that I'm all knowing, because I'm absolutely not. And a lot of people, even more so, a lot of people have more children than me. You know, I just have one child. I don't even know if I'm qualified to say what I just said, guys, but I just. Oh, awesome. That's great, Eric. You got her on here. That's great. She's probably more qualified than I am then, with them 3 boys y'all got. she could probably talk about it some. Oh yeah, Ark. Still in your prime, buddy. I will firmly admit right now that I am far out of my prime. My prime was before I gave birth. The prime left me after I had my child. I'm no longer prime anymore. I don't even know what that means. I've been down to get in the chicken coop and my back kills me. I'm not in my prime anymore. I will be the first to admit it. Hey, Storms, how are you doing? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Thank you, Brittany. You're 35 and on the downside. Bless your heart. You're only as old as you feel. Right? That's what they always say. You're only as old as you feel. Well, guys, I don't feel my age. I feel pretty close to, like, I don't know what 45 feels like, but I feel like I'm pretty close to that. I'm getting gray hair. I'm in my 20s, guys. Late 20s. But I'm in my 20s. And I'm getting gray hair and wrinkles. And, you know, that's just what life does, I guess. And I haven't had a hard life, to be honest with you. I haven't had a hard life. I've been a stay-at-home mama majority of my adulthood. And I have a husband that provides for me every single day. And tends to absolutely every single one of my needs. Yet, I'm gray-headed with wrinkles and feel like I'm 45. So, you know. Can't walk without a cane. Yeah, bless your heart. Yeah, happy early birthday. I know you had said something about your birthday coming up. These comments are coming so fast, guys, that I'm missing them. Well, guys, what do we want to talk about today? I had something in mind, but, you know, I had my surprise. If you all missed it, Miss Beth was making a nest, and I'm super excited about it. I'm so excited that I feel like I could scream. Like, I could jump up and down with joy. When I seen she was making a nest, I immediately ran to my husband like a 2-year-old runs to their dad. And I said, babe, guess what? She's making a nest. I was so excited. And I am. I'm extremely excited about it. So I had to tell you all. I had to tell my people that that she was making a nest. I think what makes it so exciting is that, you know, this is going to be the first time that, you know, we're with these breeders. These are all new. It's like I'm getting like a whole new like rabbitry, and it's super fun. It's amazing. Well, don't do that, bud. Miss Beth, yes. She's beautiful, and I keep saying it. I keep saying it, but you know, she gets prettier every day. She's just so beautiful. So, do y'all have any questions? You have anything that you want to talk about? I'll tell you what I wanted to talk about, and it's probably not going to pertain to a lot of you that are on here. So, if anybody has any questions, probably we could gear it to something different than what I was going to talk about. What I was going to talk about was homeschooling. And I don't know how many people are interested in that. I told you I was going to try to get videos out on homeschooling, and I've only put one video out. So I wanted to ask you all, for those of you that, are interested in homeschooling content. I know a lot of you aren't, so I'm not going to try to stay on this subject too long unless you all just want to. What are you all wanting out of homeschool content? What are the things that you want to know? What are the things you want to talk about? The video I put out was the curriculum that we use. I talked about why we love it, and we do. We absolutely love Rawdon Staff. But all right. Okay. Do you have any questions on here that you want to talk? I know you said privately. Do you have any questions specifically that you're okay with asking on here on live? If you're not, I can talk to you. If you're not comfortable with talking about it on live, that's perfectly fine. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. So, like I said, I don't want to go on about it too long because I'd say some people are not on here about it. Thank the Lord my son is a senior this year. School keeps getting worse. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. There's multiple reasons why we have homeschool. Anywhere between an hour and 30 minutes. An hour to an hour and 30 minutes is usually what we do. She's in 3rd grade. And that's an hour to an hour and 30 minutes. Sorry guys, my nose is running. It does this every live. Almost every live, I guess. In Kentucky, we are required a certain amount of hours with a certain amount of school days. It's 170. I've got it wrote down, guys. I promise I do. It's around 170, 160 days of school, but we're also required a certain amount of hours. So we do an hour to an hour and a half of sit down in the book work. Sit down in the book work. She also does what I call extracurricular or extra work that I put as in our record keeping book, which will include art, different things that we're doing, like science wise, if she's planting seeds, if we're doing animal husbandry, if she's working in the garden, if she's helping trim rabbit feet or trimming hoofs or anything like that. I also consider homesteading and schoolwork as work. We also have days where I call home ec days or home economic days, and we're doing different things around the house. So she's either learning how to cook an entire meal, she's learning how to do a different task within the home, she's learning how to sew, she's learning skills that are for life. And we don't do those days very often because that is some daily work. But if we have a specific thing that we need to get done that day, like if it's making bread, baking a cake, like I said, things like that, I call those home economic days. I call those home economic days. I know another homeschooler that's her daughter is in high school now, and we used to raise horses, and so we would go over there quite a bit. And she, they had horses, and she homeschooled her child, and she had every Friday, which was, she called a home ec day, and that's where her daughter, her and her husband were able to stay home, and they would go out and hunt that day, or she would just be with her dad. Fridays would be her dad day. She would call home ec day. So during hunting seasons, they would go out and hunt. If it's a certain thing that her and her dad were doing that day, whether it was working on a vehicle, training horses, tilling the garden, anything like that, she would call home ec days. And so I consider those home ec days because they're necessary skills for life. And so, like I said, we'll have those days. We also are required to do your science, social studies. Was it science, social studies? Social studies, they don't really specify in Kentucky state law. Rather, social studies is history, geography, or just community. Usually in the younger years, you're going to like teach community and stuff. She is learning geography this year, and she learned geography last year. We're finishing the book, and that's the thing too, is I get our curriculum based on where she is at. She is advanced in math, but she's not advanced in English and writing, and she just doesn't like those things. She has wonderful I shouldn't say writing. English, she's really good at. She's just not very great at reading. She doesn't like reading. She just doesn't enjoy it, which irks me because I wish she did. I always hated reading as a child though too, and she took after me. So I don't buy curriculum based on grade level per se. She needs to meet, like a certain standard. She needs to be at a certain spot. But I base curriculum that I buy off of where she's at and where she needs to get to. So that's another, homeschool mom hack there. Let me see. There's quite a few comments. Okay, hold on. How long is it? Good night. I'm almost 35. Good night. God bless you. Hope your week turns out better. That's what you want to do. I use online program. Do you use online program? No. We did do ABC Mouse for first and second grade along with bookwork. But I didn't use an online program this year, and I found that she likes to do the bookwork. She likes to do her bookwork, get it done, and then do, farm chores, house chores, and things like that. She likes to just get her bookwork done, out of the way. She doesn't like sitting in front of a computer, doing all that. We did it for 2 years, so I know. Now, when she gets a little bit older, she might, but she just doesn't like it now, so we don't do it. I haven't heard of that curriculum. Sounds like a good curriculum. Look into, I love that you're, yeah. The curriculum that we use, if you're interested in the curriculum that we use, is, I've got a video on it. It's Rod and Staff. It's a Christian-based curriculum. If you're wanting I will tell you this about Rod and Staff. If you're not wanting something that is a lot of, we're in third grade now. I did Rod and Staff social studies and science or geography and science for second grade, but we didn't do English, writing, or math in Rod and Staff. But Rod and Staff in third grade for English, writing, and math is a lot of writing down, a lot of penmanship, a lot of, writing things down and things like that. I know in fourth grade, I think they start cursive. The thing about Rod and Staff is that they are a Amish Mennonite curriculum. They're in Amish and Mennonite schools. It's an amazing curriculum for homeschooling, but I like how they have it set up because they have it set up for classroom settings, but you can also very easily use the curriculum for homeschooling. You can manipulate it to meet your needs. It's very easy. Like, you don't feel like it's just like a task after. Come here. Hey, come here. You don't feel like it's task after task, and she gets it done very. It's very thorough, but she gets it done with ease, and I feel like it's something that that they repeat it enough, especially in math, that the child can learn it and understand it very well. He just wants my attention. He's just being spoiled. that they can understand it very well, but it's also not so repetitive that it's annoying for them. And like I said, you can take from it and you can add to it very easily. And so I do like that curriculum if you are looking for a Christian-based curriculum. It's also, as far as Christian-based curriculums that I've looked into, it's also very affordable. It's a very affordable curriculum, and I like that, so... He obviously didn't get taught where his birthday was either. That sounds just like my husband, because guess what? He don't know how old he is either. She said, "You're 32 years old, husband." Yeah, that's the thing, is you're a mama. And the best thing about homeschooling is that you can teach your child the things that they need to know. You can teach them in a way that is better equipped for their learning. You can use curriculums that help them better understand and learn things. And, you know, I'm gonna try not to talk public school down. That's not my intention. A lot of children in public school get left behind. They have learning disabilities. He never got taught cursive. I'm gonna assume that he went to public school here. I had one teacher in 3rd grade that taught us cursive for just a short period of time, and then after that, I never had any other teacher after that teach me cursive, and I taught myself cursive. And my cursive is a mix between cursive and regular handwriting, and it's because I taught myself. Lakin, on the other hand, is learning cursive. I didn't stick with the curriculum. I just felt like it was too much for her, like too much throughout the day, too much bookwork for her throughout the day. But she is going to be doing it regular as a curriculum for 4th grade. She needs to learn how to, like sign her name. So, but children struggle with different things. And the thing about being a mama, the thing about being a homeschool mama is you can catch those things fairly early, and you can adjust your curriculum. You can adjust your lifestyle to those things. It's very common for children, especially that has learning disabilities in public school, to just get left behind. Hello. To just get left behind, and just kind of hang there and get passed on through grades. And I say this as someone that went to public school, who has a parent that works in public school. You know, my mom is a special education teacher, and she knows the children that get passed on. She sees it. She, sees the children that are, up in grades, up in middle school and things like that don't even know how to read. They're in middle school and they don't even know how to read. Well, how does that happen? Because they're the quiet kid that didn't cause any problems and they got passed right on. And that happens. That happens in public school. But the good thing about it is that that doesn't have to happen to your child, especially if you homeschool. And I have nothing, like I said, I'm not going to talk down public school, especially since I went to public school. My husband went to public school. My sister's kids go to public school. My mom works in the public school system. It's everyday things that happen in everyday life. But one thing I love about being able to be a homeschool mama, being able to have my child at home, is that she's not going to fall through the cracks. I'm not going to be going to, parent-teacher meetings and, talking to a teacher who has my child in a class of, 30-some, and she doesn't really even know her. And she doesn't really know what's going on with her. And so I love just being able to have that one-on-one with her. Like I said, I'm not talking down public schools. I'm trying not to. I don't want to sound like I'm talking down public schools, because I know that parents have to work. I know that things go on. I know that it seems impossible for people to homeschool their children. It's not impossible. I will say that. But it might seem impossible for people. It might seem very hard for people. They might feel like they're not qualified to homeschool. And, you know, that's okay. That's okay. Everybody doesn't have to do everybody doesn't have to do the, what am I trying to say? Everybody doesn't have to do the same things as me. Everybody doesn't have to believe the same way as me in order to carry on through life. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I'm not all knowing. I'm not here to tell you what's right for me is right for you. So I know. Girl, I'm with you right there. She's getting ready to start division. And I was horrible with division in school. Guys, I'm going to have to Google and watch videos on how to teach her how to divide the right way instead of just my made up way. The way that sounds right in my head. Gotta get ready for my live singing tonight. Have a blessed weekend. Or blessed week, my friend. You too, Ark. Sing your heart out, buddy. Sing some good gospel songs for me. Thank you for popping in, as always. The curriculum that I use does it old school. It's Amish curriculum. So, and that's one thing I like about the Amish curriculum is it ain't throwing all kinds of fancy stuff in there. They teach multiplication, and the book teaches multiplication by starting skip counting, which that's a new term. Like skip counting is a new term. When I told my mom that we were learning, or who did I tell? I told my father-in-law she was learning to skip count, and he's like, "What's that?" All that is counting by, is what I call it. So like counting by twos, counting by threes, counting by fours, counting by fives. You know, just going through the list. Yeah. My mom's the same way. She's like, she says, and she's a public school educator, and she's like, things are so weird now. Math is so weird. I don't know. Listen, I feel like America in general makes math so much harder than they do other places. Why do they make it so? Why do we have to go through a big long process? I feel like other places, you know why kids in other countries are so smart is because they actually teach them the right way to do things. They make everything hard here. I don't know why they do that. I don't know if they think we're going to be smarter, because really, us public school kids are not the brightest crayons in the box. Especially us rural public school kids. Son, I shouldn't be laughing. I'm talking about me, but it's just the truth. One good thing about it is there's like no qualifications. Like you don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be a college professor to teach your kids at homeschool. And, there's so many programs out there, especially online programs, where you can, just sit back and watch your child, learn things and just help them along the way. Like, you don't have to know everything. Listen, when I can't remember how exactly something goes, I just YouTube it. I just Google it. And any homeschool mom out there that tells you that they don't, they're probably lying. Because sometimes you just don't remember stuff. And, that's okay. That's okay. Well, I started talking about homeschooling and everybody left. I knew that was going to kill the vibes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Daisy Q. Yeah, it's just, children are like sponges, and I know everybody's heard that a bunch. I've heard somebody talk about this too, about kids learning how to read late and things like that. Your child is 9 times out of 10 not going to walk down the aisle not knowing how to read. They're not going to get married not knowing how to read. You know, like they're not going to hit adulthood most likely if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, they're not going to know, you know, they're not going to walk down the aisle not knowing how to, you know, like multiply or divide, or to know how to do basic things and basic skills. You don't have to, like, we don't have to raise geniuses, and chances are your child is not a genius. They're not, you know, like they might be advanced in some things, they might be very smart. I'm not calling people's kids stupid, but you know, like my child is very smart. She catches on to things very quick. She is excellent in math. She is, you know, advanced for her age. When it comes to math, she catches on to things like that very quickly. Math is her favorite subject. She loves it. She's really good at it. My child's not a genius. And yours probably isn't either. And so we're not raising, you know, like we're not raising geniuses. We're raising normal people like us. People that are probably going to be, you know, they're not going to be astronauts. Maybe they can. Maybe that, you know, maybe you are raising a genius, but chances are you're not. And it's okay to be normal. It's okay to have basic, just, you know, basic skills that you need for life. It's okay to, you know, have, you know, like being able to just do basic things. Yeah, she said, yes, normal people. Like, we are just, you know, we're just raising normal people. I know that there's kids out there that are, you know, really, really smart and geniuses and stuff, but a lot of times those people that have kids that are really, really smart and geniuses, a lot of times they're normal people too. I mean, sometimes they're really, really smart people, but, you know, I don't know. So don't stress yourself out about it. Don't think that you need to know absolutely everything in order to homeschool your kids. That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. Don't stress out about it. Don't think that you need to know absolutely everything to homeschool your child, because you don't. You don't. You made it through life with the basic normal skills that everybody needs for everyday life. Teach them the basic normal skills that everybody needs for everyday life. Stay, you know, keep track of your stuff. Watch them learn. If your child is learning something new every day, if they're learning something, if they're soaking stuff up, if you can tell that they're learning it, you can tell that they're getting better and better the more you do it, then you're doing your job. Good job, mama, because you're doing exactly what you're supposed to. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, or dad, or just whoever's homeschooling. You're doing it right. If they're learning, then you're doing good. And there's so many different methods of homeschooling. There's so many different ways to homeschool. And, you know, we do book work and we do physical work. That's how my mind works. That's how her mind works. We cover the things that are appropriate. We cover the things that you covered in school, most likely, or, you know, the basic things that you covered in school, most likely. And then the rest of the day, we're learning things hands-on. We're learning, like I said, basic skills for life: cooking, cleaning, animal husbandry, learning how to grow your own food, learning how to process your own food, learning how to cook your food, learning how to preserve your food. And those are all basic skills for life. So those are things that children need to know. At least I want my child to know. And those go right along with school. I don't know about how your all school was. I was raised up in a rural area, but our senior year was more gauged to what we were going to do, what we decided to do when we grew up. We could take college credit courses. I did take college credit courses, along with, you know, like my regular school classes. I did college classes at public school. And, you know, like life skills. So we had a mechanic class, we had a carpenter class, we had a welding class, we had a healthcare class, we had we had a computer class. We had a business management class. I took the business management class. What all else did we have? We had your ag classes. And so our senior year was more geared to the things that we wanted to do. We also had, and I did this as well, you had like what they called college bound, and then what they called college bound, and then what they called career bound. And so some students who maybe were going to be like in public work or didn't want to go to college, I was career and college bound, so I got to take college courses, and I got to do career bound, so I would do a half day. I would do a half day of school, so I would only have, was it 6 classes? I would do 3 classes one day and then 3 classes the other day, and then I would work. I had a job. I would leave half day of school, I think around lunchtime, or maybe around 11. Yeah, I think at 11 I would leave every single day from public school, and I would go work. I would go to my job. And so I think that the one good thing about homeschooling is you don't have to wait until you're in high school to do those things. That with homeschooling, you can do those without having to, like wait till your senior year in high school. I don't know if everybody's school's like that. I don't know if we did that in our high school. Yeah. And I think that that's wonderful. I think honestly that high school, maybe not freshman year, but like sophomore, junior, senior year, I think that that's how high school and public school should be. I would completely vouch for that you either work your way towards, your college career if you want to go into that, or if you want to work, like a public job, because a lot of people don't want to go to college, and that's perfect. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to college. There's nothing wrong with going to college and deciding you don't want to be in college. I think that everybody, should have the opportunity to go if they want to. But also I think that, some people just don't want to. And that's okay. Ark's doing his live now. I think that I just got a notification for it. I think that that's how it should be. And I liked that. I liked that I got to do that. I liked that my senior year, I had my own home. I was paying my own bills. I was taking college classes. I was doing all the things. I was working 2 jobs. Yeah. Yeah, I went to a technical college. I went to a technical college for business, and and finished my first semester and didn't do my second. No, I did my first and second semester. I didn't go back I didn't go back the next year. It was a 2-year. What's it called? It was 2 years to get my degree, and I just didn't go back. Ended up becoming a truck driver. Yeah. There ain't nothing wrong with that. My husband is a what do you call it? He's a carpenter. He's all kinds of things, guys. I don't even know what to call him. He's skilled. He's a jack of all trades, guys. He can do about anything. But he didn't go to college. And, he's owned his own business for years, and done perfectly fine. I've owned multiple businesses. I went to college. I went to a technical school. I didn't finish. My husband is a very skilled carpenter. He's very skilled at many things. Electrician. He's a non-certified electrician. He doesn't do the big electrical stuff. I shouldn't say that. He doesn't just go set up people's houses. He can do basic things around our house. He can do a lot of things. He's very, very smart. Very smart when it comes to those things. And I thank God for it, because because I don't know nothing about it. I'm slowly learning, though. One thing I love about having a husband that is a jack of all trades, that knows a lot of things, is I can sit back and watch him do it, and then learn from him, because he's very good at it. So he's like my teacher without teaching me, because he ain't got the patience to teach me. But I can watch him enough doing something that I can learn from it. And so, um, wow, that's neat. That's something I don't know, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, what I was saying is I went to school um, for business management, and I guess me and my husband both just kind of have a like business like minds, I guess is the way to put it. And so I I didn't finish college. Yeah, that's awesome. That would be a really cool job. I didn't finish college, but I was a photographer, so I had a photography business. I'm a farmer, so I have a, I run a farm, which is a business. Um, my husband, owns a business. He is, so, we've done just fine. What was it called when like the vinyl stuff came out, and when you could get like the vinyl shirts and things like that, I ran a business for that for a while, along with when Lakin was really small, just to make a little bit of money at home. I made hair bows. That wasn't like a extremely profitable business or anything, but it did bring a small income home. And so I did that as well. And so my photography business, besides farming, I've done much better in farming, but my photography business was a pretty successful business, and I thank God for it. So, I didn't finish college, but I didn't have no problem, starting up my own business, and I feel like a lot of people think that they can't do it, but you can. It's just something you gotta work on. You just have to have a skill. You have to have a skill that people need. And I encourage you to, study up on that skill, learn more things about that skill, take classes on that skill, and just continue to learn more and more and more and more, so you can get better and better and better and better at the skill. But that would be awesome, Eric. Yeah. Yeah. I was a wedding photographer. A couple and wedding photographer. So, I did do, like prom pictures or couple pictures. I did do senior pictures here and there. Every once in a while I would do like newborn pictures, but my love was wedding photography, and that's typically what I did, just couples and wedding photography. And I loved it. When I stopped loving it is when I got out of it. When it just became work. It's hard to be your own boss when work becomes work. When it's something that you just like dread doing, it's hard to motivate yourself to do it. And so I did it for a few years after it just wasn't fun anymore. And then I was just like, I just don't want to do it anymore. And so I didn't do it anymore. But I loved it when I loved it. When I loved it, it was fun. It was fun. And you get to meet all kinds of people. That's one of those jobs that you have to be patient with people. And you have to, just sometimes say, customer's always right. But you get to meet all kinds of people, and a lot of people are kind. Or used to be. I don't know how they are now, but a lot of people are kind. Wedding photography is something that's stressful for a lot of people. It's a stressful day for everybody. I don't know why. Why is it so why are wedding days so stressful? I guess because you just build up to it. But they can be really stressful for people. I always found that the weddings that were just like pop-up weddings, that they just decided, like they got engaged and then the next month they got married, and they didn't have like an entire year to plan their wedding, or they weren't planning the wedding for 6 months. It was a lot easier for those people that just like decided they were going to get married than those people that got engaged and then had a year to plan for it. It seems like it's more stressful for people when they have to like build it up. So like the day of, they're all mad and like irritated and nobody's happy, and it's like that. But it is. And so, I don't know. But I loved it. I loved wedding photography. And it, like I said, it was fun. It was fun while I loved it. But and here's the thing is I have those skills. I was talking about like building up your Skills and things like that. I'd done it long enough that I had built up my skills that I would feel comfortable enough like getting back into it after I, like built myself back up after I did it more and more. I would feel comfortable with doing it again, and it might be something that I decide to do, uh, I don't know, later on in life. I don't know. So, because I did like it, I did like it. But, you know, you never know. Well, guys, does anybody have any questions for me? We've been on for a little over an hour, and it seems like it's went from a lot of people on at one time to pretty much dead in the comments section. So does anybody have any questions about anything before we pop off of here? I want to make sure if anybody has any questions that I'm able to answer them for them. Thank you everybody that popped in here. We got a bunch of people. Let me see. Joe Morgan, if you are still here, thank you for popping in. Brittany Miller, thank you. Randy, he popped off. It was like he got upset. I don't know what happened. Homesteading Pastor, thank you for popping in. Daisy Q. I feel like I missed people. Eric and his wife, thank you. Thank you. Chas, if you're still on here. Let me see. Ark, I know he's not on here. There was somebody. I don't know. Storms, if you're still on here, thank you. I think that was it. Love you, Chas. All right, guys. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. I hope y'all have a wonderful evening. God bless y'all. Hopefully we can see you on the next one. Thank you, Eric and his wife for popping in. Y'all had we had a wonderful conversation this evening and got to talk about a lot of different stuff. And I'm thankful that you finally got to pop in. Eric always has wonderful questions. We always have a good hangout when Eric's on here, and I'm glad that you've popped on too. It's nice to meet you, even though I haven't, but it's nice to meet you on here. But thank you all so much for popping in and just being you all. Y'all are a wonderful community, and I'm thankful for you. I'm blessed to have the people that I have. I'm blessed to have the people that I have that come on here and support me every time. It's amazing. I always say it's humbling to like know that people actually want to come on here and look at my face, because it's my face. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off here, but but thank you all so much for just being you all, and God bless y'all. Have a good evening.